Hi, Dimitri Downing back with one of my, well, they're all my favorite CannaMentors. Let's not kid ourselves, but one of my favorite people who I've known in the industry, I think since I've been here, 2012, 13. It's been since the beginning. Staci Scholl, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Staci, and thank you for becoming a CannaMentor. You are far and beyond one of the most knowledgeable people about the Arizona industry, cultivations, manufacturing, dispensaries, the operations, the ins and out, everything. It's really extraordinary to have to be able to host you and to be able to introduce you to people. And I would encourage them to reach out to you for guidance and knowledge. But Staci, tell us about yourself. When did you start in the industry?
Yeah, so thank you. I'm currently coming up on my 10th year in the cannabis industry. So I've always been on the product side, specializing in sales and branding and marketing as well. So this is my first endeavor with DIZPOT on the packaging side. So it's definitely almost a new language that I'm learning. And I was brought in with DIZPOT as the director of business development. But for the past almost 10 years, I've brought 5 brands to the cannabis industry, specifically in Arizona. If it was originated here in Arizona, I helped facilitate that success, as well as bringing in 2 additional brands from outside of the state into Arizona to create some brand awareness and create some really good market share.
Well, that's incredible. And thank you, DIZPOT, for giving us your time and making you available to the community. I know John Hart's over there is a great supporter of social equity. So we thank DIZPOT for allowing you to become a social equity mentor and encouraging you to be part of this program. Fantastic. Where did you start with? What year was that and with what group?
So this was in 2012. I started up in a teeny little dispensary called Uncle Herb's Health Center in Payson, Arizona. And, the population of the town was very small. It was very foreign for people to have a pot shop in their town. So one of my objectives was to create some community outreach. That's where I'm born and raised. So it was just a natural fit to go to my family and my friends in law enforcement and city council members to really create a solid rapport and basically destigmatize all of the stereotypes around cannabis. So it was a great endeavor. I had an absolute blast. We even adopted a highway and had open houses with DEA and sheriff's department. So you could say that we definitely succeeded up in Payson. So that was where my roots are, and I'm really proud of that group.
I think that's a really valuable experience that a lot of social equity applicants will be asked, wanting to have questions answered. I haven't had my coffee yet. This is coffee, so. But since you opened a dispensary from scratch, were you like the first employee there? Is that right?
I was one of the first, and at this point, the dispensary was still being almost designed from scratch with the retail design and whatnot. So I remember one of my managers was working out of a wheelbarrow, so it was definitely from the ground up design. So I was one of the first, I believe, 5 employees besides the owners, which was pretty cool. And even remaining friends until this day, and see how they've innovated and expanded that company as well is really exciting to see. So it's a good community.
I think that's a Jars facility now.
Yes. So it's a really cool transition, and I think I'm going to take a visit up to Payson this weekend. So I'm excited to see what it looks like if they're open already.
And you also work with Sunday Goods. Any other groups you want to mention?
Yeah, so after I kind of graduated from the small town retail atmosphere, I really wanted to delve into the metro area. So I was recruited by Open Vape, and that was a group out of Colorado. And Open Vape was a great endeavor because they had a really solid rapport and market share, and the leadership was great to work with. I learned quite a bit. And in that group, I really learned about organization and how to run wholesale. I've always been on the retail side with Uncle Herb's, but with Open Vape, it was always on wholesale. So I definitely got to get a keen eye of the wholesale market and B2B. So after that, then I was recruited to the Sunday Goods group. And I saw something really special with Sunday Goods because I was only brought in for about 30 minutes of consultation. And after probably 2.5 hours of talking, I had to be a part of it. I had to be a part of it just because of the approach that Sunday Goods was taking for community outreach and marketing, and making sure that the packaging is stunning and the strategy met the story and the package met the product, as well as me learning how to appropriate where to put 330,000 square feet of cultivation out into the market. So that was a new challenge as far as scalability. But, and it was Dutch Glass Greenhouse, my first time working with a greenhouse down in Wilcox, Arizona. So I think those guys are doing really well today. So I'm really proud to be part of that inception to help them get some credibility and some skin in the game and, you know, ample market share. And I think they're pretty much close to opening up their second dispensary too, which is absolutely exciting.
And yeah, I just actually passed it. They were like laying concrete still. Looked pretty good.
Very cool. Yes, good group over there.
I'm here in Tempe. And after Sunday Goods, you went to?
So Sunday Goods, that was my baby. So after
Yeah.
Sunday Goods, I started my little advisory company to help facilitate new companies coming to Arizona. So
Right.
I had some fun doing short-term projects here and there. But I was then approached by a group called Shango. And Shango was one of the largest indoor cultivations in the Valley Metro area, the old Revlon manufacturing building over in Buckeye. So one of my objectives was to bring a brand new cannabis flower company to the Arizona market in an already incredibly highly competitive atmosphere. So I think one of the features of Shango was that they used very high quality product. So it was almost a turnkey approach for me to go to my solid base of wholesalers and retailers to really bring a new strain and a new brand and a new marketing approach to Arizona. So I think within 90 days, we had 50% market share. And I definitely attribute that to high quality cannabis, as well as the rapport that I've created over the last, you know, like I said, almost 10 years now.
You are like an encyclopedia of knowledge.
You can say that.
No, it's great. You know, the goal is ultimately to, you know, give you a little bit of background about you. You're from Arizona. You're a nice person. You're approachable. Your level of expertise is off the charts. So it's amazing. So it's our pleasure to have you on this platform.
Thank you.
Any advice for social equity applicants? People who are watching this over the next two months will be going through a process, maybe applying, maybe license winners in January, and then I think they'll be taking all their knowledge that they've gathered from their journey exploring cannabis. If they don't win a license, to try to, some of them will try to have a professional route into cannabis. And any advice for social equity applicants?
Yeah, so I think that's quite a wide net regarding an audience that I'd like to speak to. But in regard to an overall approach, I would absolutely be incredibly diligent on the agreements and your paperwork. I think reading the small prints and every single word in agreements when you're going into business, making sure that you're number one in compliance, but number two, protected. Another small nuance of what I've experienced, and you know, I've been scathed, is definitely not hiring your friends. I think that's a pretty good general rule of thumb. And I know there's some nepotism here in the state, but I think that this industry is constant work. It is work every single day. I think our industry ages like in dog years. So the advancement that we go through is so vast and rapid that having a keen eye and a close pulse on daily regs or news or updates is vital. So this would definitely be for the audience who are either applying for the social equity, if not, didn't receive it. But in regard to people who didn't, I would absolutely advocate going to networking, putting your face out there, shaking hands, rubbing elbows. Simply putting in an application is counterproductive to separate you from the thousands of applicants out there. So what I would really advise is to get your face out there and really surround yourself with people who you want to emulate, especially in leadership positions. This industry is not just smoking blunts and counting money. I mean, it is at the end of the day, but it is hard work every single day. So it's a struggle. But I think with all of this adversity and learning curve, it really yields a thick skin and that fortitude. And what I've wielded over the years is a really sharp sword to really hone in on my skills, especially with my confidence too. So you know, hard work pays off, but it's constant work. It doesn't stop.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's interesting. Yeah, we cast a wide net at MITA. One of the favorite things
Yes.
That I found that we're doing with social equity program is all those people who aren't eligible are finding the information valuable, making contacts, meeting individuals like yourselves, and finding other paths. You know, so that's kind of why we cast a wide net. And, the way the program was written, 26 winning individuals, teams will be awarded licenses in the spring. And then everybody else can just, figure out what they want to do. So it is what it is. And also it's interesting that you said that 7 years, every industry is like dog years, I'm thinking to myself, 10 years from now, I will have the wisdom of a 172-year-old man.
You sure will.
I'm looking forward to that. Well, Staci, this is fantastic. People know you're an expert. It's very clear, and I hope they reach out to you. And I wish I could ask you to help people look over their paperwork and their deal structures.
Sure.
I don't want to, I know you're not a lawyer, but you're very familiar with some of the nuances and the crap people pull in this industry. So.
Yeah, I think bringing an objective approach with a little bit of subjective approach as well definitely helps. What I've learned in this industry, particularly to people who are bringing their own products or dispensaries on board, is, the quote of even a brain surgeon can't do surgery on himself. I think sometimes in this industry, people are really in love with the company that they create, if not the product they create. But being open-minded and receiving suggestions from other groups who have been there and done that and have had that tangible experience, I think it's vital to go in with an open mind. I know we really love our products and our dispensaries because we put our blood, sweat, and tears in them. But I think connecting with like-minded individuals who want you to succeed is absolutely vital. So I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. The DIZPOT team is fantastic. And I think that one of our, I know John's not a CannaMentor, but we suggested, sit down with John, Jeff, yourself, talk when people win their license and talk with you guys, because you're a neutral party. You're packaged,
right.
But you have all this expertise.
Right.
So you're almost like consultants that can just like for free, because that's fantastic. Yeah, so we greatly appreciate it. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Right. So I can be reached at staci.scholl@dizpo.com. That's staci.scholl@DIZPOT.com. Again, my name is Staci. You can reach me on Facebook, same spelling as my email address. You can find me on LinkedIn. Could find me on Snapchat if you want to as well, but definitely the email would be the best.
Well, thank you for joining us, Staci. We really greatly.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.